Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris Newbie Tutorial Series, Episode 3. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's the year 2228. This is what our empire looks like so far. We have the exterminators very close to us. So we're going to be dealing with that. Something I don't do very often is use defense platforms, because I prefer to just have big fleets. But with these exterminators so close, I think I'm going to have to put up 2 star bases over here and put defense platforms on them to assist my fleets, because I think these guys are probably a right pain in the butt, and I may have to put another defense platform and starbase over here too. They have 3 potential ways in here. So this is concerning. I've never had an exterminator faction that close before, so that's going to taint this tutorial series a little bit. This is our empire. I'd like to keep expanding up in this direction. There's a bunch of resources to grab up here. So we have our ships, science ships out doing what they can. We have 3 science ships out surveying still. And 1 constructor ship here.
Anomaly found.
Issuing him
System survey
lanes.
complete.
I have over 300 influence now here. See that? And that's with we have, let's see. We only have the diplomatic grants active now. I may want to turn map the stars back on again. So here's another edict. Information quarantine. Put strict check on the flow of information, better perceiving local cultural changes. It prevents, government ethics attraction, plus 50%. Keeps people in your empire preferring your ethics. Research grants 200. I'd like to spend on that. I'm trying to keep 200 influence in reserve for the point in time when the galactic market is established. But that's probably not going to be established until I run into a few more species. So I think research grants might be worth spending the money on for the additional 10%. Thinking about it. That's what's happening. I'm letting time roll by and I'm just thinking about it. So we got another colony. Our 3rd one. And again, come in here, turn colony on, because you can see the bonuses here when you hover over it. Pop growth speed plus 20%, happiness plus 10%. I love that early bonus. Also, for food, if we want to encourage pop growth speed by 25%, this modifier lasts for 120 months. And then the distribution of luxury goods, which gives you plus 25% amenities for a while. So it rolls this number up. Everything that you do here, then that helps stability a little bit, which gives you bonuses, which is nice. So this particular planet is not very good as far as job districts go. So I'm probably going to put my energy here in like maybe all of these food districts, maybe 1 row of energy districts, the rest for housing.
System survey complete.
So I'm going to build 1 of these, build a couple of housing districts, city districts for housing, for future housing. Build those now, and they also provide clerk jobs. That's the reason to kind of plan ahead there on those. I always like to take a look at this from time to time just to see what my trade situation looks like. I have these 3 systems here, but these new ones, but they're not going to produce any trade. Over here, here, and here, and they're not going to produce any trade like this does with this ring symbol until we get some civilian complexes down. Our Empire capital has an unemployed pop, which is a robot. That's not a surprise. So we'll put the mining district down. And then we have room to put something else on this building.
Anomaly found.
Slot. And what I don't have right here is there is a building you can put down.
Research
We'll
complete.
handle our research here and then we'll talk about it. Hall of Judgment in the Planetary Capital. That's great. Blockers. Yeah, I need to get these. These need to happen. I'm going to come back and talk about this. There is a building. There's one building, and I talk about this in my planetary management tutorial, but for every district here, there's a building that you can put down that's a 1 per planet building that will give a plus 15% bonus boost to that production. For instance, the energy grid is the one for generator districts. This, you can see, it grants plus 15% energy credits from technicians, and it provides 1 additional job. There is one for minerals, which is what I would like to put down, but unfortunately we haven't researched that yet. So where we're short is consumer goods and alloys. I need alloys to build more ships and defense platforms. The exterminators are making me nervous. This is also great. You can finally upgrade the capital. The capital can be upgraded, I think, a total of 3 times. So you can see it adds enforcer jobs, more housing, more amenities, another science director. It provides 1 science director job and 2 administrator jobs. So you can see what administrators do. The science director, of course, provides, you can see the research there, 6.8, physics research, 7.8, or society and engineering research. The administrators provide the amenities and they produce unity. So that's what you can always look at these to see what these jobs produce and what they consume for upkeep. So we're going to do all that. And then also there are blockers on this planet. That's what this square over here, this orange-ish square with the diagonal lines.
Construction
Also
complete.
this orange with the diagonal lines means that there are blockers. We'll cover that in a second. I lost a scientist. Lost a scientist on a ship. So now we can cover that. One thing you'll notice here is red. We didn't see this earlier. This person has acquired a negative trait that slows down their research speed and slows down their anomaly research speed. And they're on a ship busy surveying. Let's see, what do I have here? I don't have anybody doing this expertise on new worlds. So I'm going to recruit him, and what I'm going to do is go over to technology, and you can see this person here has a research speed of plus 10%. The current research we're doing is new worlds. He's providing 53% because he's leveled up to level 4. His speed is plus 53%. If we replace him with this guy, what does it turn out to be? Was 52%, and he's got a match, and he's only level 1. So as he levels up, and we start to do some more new world research with him, he's really gonna go all out. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna put that other guy on a ship, the experienced one, who's 59 years old now, and he's level 4. We're gonna research him. Where was he at? He was over here. So he's gonna research that anomaly and then survey the system. This constructor needs to keep making things. You can hold down the shift key while you're doing this. And then also that. But anyway, let's go back up to blockers. If you click on planetary features, you can see 2 windows down here. This little diamond is rare planetary features. We don't have any on this planet. These are blockers. You can see that these, again, the diagonal lines here on these. All of these districts here are blocked by things like industrial wasteland and sprawling slums and hostile creatures and all kinds of other things. So when this is green, you can pay them money and you can undo these blockers, and it frees up these districts. And more importantly, I explained this in my planetary management tutorial, but all 3 of these job districts share the same total district count with city districts. So if you unblock these blockers here, you can use them. You can create these mining districts, or you can use the free districts to provide city districts, more city districts if you need the housing. So I'm going to pay them nearly 1k cost to undo all 3 of those blockers, and that gets put in the queue, of course.
Construction complete.
And then I'm going to start building. These need to be done right now. So this is just an outpost, and you pay 200 base cost to upgrade it before you even install anything on it. Rock brain. Make it so. A scan of a particularly massive asteroid yields fascinating results. The rock's core is shot through with a network of conductive crystals carrying a weak electric charge. Crew on our ship recognize this matrix as a primitive neural lattice and believe the celestial body to be thinking in some capacity, if not fully sapient. Seek permission to excavate the core and transport it to the nearest orbital station for closer studies. So yes, we'll do that. Hopefully that'll yield something interesting. And the same thing over here, we need to build this one, so we might as well pay the cost right here and do it. This early part of the game like this, you don't have a lot of resources and money. Rock migraine. The core, once coaxed from beneath the crust of the asteroid, does not respond well to the vacuum of space. Our ship's instruments read a sudden energy spike moments before the rocky lump gently but decisively fractures. Large chunks of the conductive mineral are salvaged, but whatever spectral charge animated them is now gone. So now our scientist has earned the carefree trait, and we get physics research and 1,000 energy credits. So we just, all those blockers that we just paid for, we just got that money back. And if we look at our leaders, we see that where is this person? Goal. This person gained the carefree trait, so their anomaly research speed is now 35%. So they gained a positive trait, which is very nice. That's a nice little boost. And then they're over here, so we're going to have them survey to the 3rd junction against these folks. We're continuing on. I almost feel like getting a 4th science ship up and running. Our colonies are over here kind of cranking things out. You can see that they're building.
System survey complete.
Population. We don't have robots being assembled on this planet yet because we don't have a robot assembly. We need to get up to 5 population before we unlock the first slot. And the first thing I always put down in these colonies when I have robot technology is robots. They have 3 open jobs. In this other colony, magnetic reversal, we gain physics research. This other colony has no open jobs. Complete. So these guys are going to need jobs soon, and I think we'll go for energy credits here. We're gonna do all 6 of these as energy. We're gonna focus this planet on energy. It needs the colony designation. I forgot to put that one on there, and that one's fine. So these guys are gonna get a generator district, and then of course I always start off with 2 city districts so that I can provide some clerk jobs and so that I get housing, because right now they only have 1 available slot. Gotta keep your people housed. Otherwise, you know, what's it all about? This guy, this is all dead end over here, I think. So he's going to head off in this direction. And I'm feeling like I can afford to get a second constructor going.
Research complete.
Faster than light inhibitors, that's great. So now we're at this point where we can unlock the cold fusion reactor. It will lead to further advancements in several different fields, it says. Or we can just speed up some of our research station output, or research from researchers on our planet. We only have 1 research building right now, so I don't consider this a big deal. We do have a lot of research stations. This is kind of a big deal. But this is physics, and it matches his main ability. So we're going to do this and see what else it unlocks. And down on energy credits. So yeah, I'm thinking this guy's back here. Have him do this. Survey that.
Construction complete.
That. Then he'll start heading off in this direction. And we have our star bases up, so that's part of this. This expense. That's why we went in the hole now, because each one of these costs an upkeep of 2. You can see right there, upkeep 2 energy. But I
Construction
feel like
complete.
this is really important. We have to do this. So, anchorage allows you to have naval capacity. You can see it's +4. The
System
gun batteries
survey
add
complete.
modifiers, as these add the same modifiers to the same gun battery and missiles. It's just, I think, a matter of, I'm not even sure their damage types matter against the enemy, because these just provide modifiers as far as I can tell. But we want to build anchorage, and then one of these, and I want to build a crew quarters so my ship can stay there. Diplomatic insult from the exterminators, of course. These guys are going to go here to that location. Same thing over here. We're going to build these. I'm going to build one more anchorage. Build a gun battery. Crew quarters so that I can put a fleet here as well. These guys are overwhelming
Research
fleet power
complete.
compared to us. It's just not exciting. Alright, so we finished some research. Robot modification. This is going to get really exciting. We can do L-gate insights or the coil gun. There's also the Starhold. This upgrades your star bases to the next level. It unlocks 2 more slots. I kind of really want this, but I also see the need for coil gun right now. So we're going to do that. And then right here, robot modification. So this is going to be fun. This is a great thing to explain. So you go in here to robot and you say create a template. And what I'm going to do, there are all these different traits that you can add to the robot based on picks. You have 2 trait points and you have 4 total picks. So like we did at the very beginning when we were creating our faction, if you want to provide more trait points, you can take negatives, for instance. That's a negative. It counts as a pick. It subtracts from the total points. We don't actually want that. I don't. But remember that the robots in the beginning of the game can only work mining or food. So the only other traits that you have are things like lower your pop house usage, lower the robot upkeep, so the energy cost, which is a good one to have. Mass produced, you can make them faster, or you can reduce the cost of them. I like to do things like these minerals from jobs. This costs 2 traits, which I kind of very much like. Let's see. Looking at the rest of these, pop assembly speed. So these guys, robot miners, thinking about something here. Pop assembly cost. This is what? It's -2. The cost of assembling these guys is -2. Their speed is -1. It could make them slower. This is an interesting thing. Usually what I do, okay, let me explain what I'm doing. Usually what I do is I make a robot miner and a robot farmer, because these add plus 15% to their jobs. And then you have to apply this template to all your existing robots, and it requires research to do. I think I'm going to go for this strategy, and then I build fast robots. I think I'm going to do this strategy. I'm going to make their pop assembly speed -1, and that is so that I can add this. The robot upkeep is -10%. So these guys are robot miners. They're going to add plus 15% to their minerals. Their upkeep is going to be -10%. They're going to be slow to be created, but I don't care about that because we're not actually going to create them. Robot miner, robots, miners. So we're going to do that. And that's your template. So then you create the template. So that's the robot miner. We're going to do the same thing, create a new template for the robot farmer right here. Harvesters. Farmers, speed, make them slower, make their upkeep that. So here's our robot farmers. We create that template. Now, I'm going to create one more template. These are, let's see, where is it? Pop assembly speed, plus 15%. And I have one more trait. Robot upkeep -10. Do this. These I'm going to call fast robots. These are actually what we're going to build on our planet is fast robots. And then we're going to use research to apply the other template to these robots. These are going to allow us to create robots a little bit quicker. So I'm going to create that template. All right, now what I'm going to do is we have 15 robots on this planet right here. We go down here and we can see all of our workers. You can see all these workers. Now, 4 of them are working food, and the rest of them, 11 of them, are working mines. So since this is my capital, and since it's focused primarily on mining, I'm going to apply the mining template to the existing robots on this planet. So you go to species, you say, I want the robot miner. I want to apply this template, and I want to choose the planet that it's on. Now, right now, I only have one planet with robots. So I'm going to do this. It's going to apply the template. It's going to take 75 months of research to apply that template. Meanwhile, I'm going to go back into my planet, and I'm going to say, when you're building robots, build the fast robots. They take less time to create. Aha. Alright, and now we have another species. We received a transmission from the Independent Space Station. Hi, Curator Pablash. Greetings, Star Travelers. We are curators. So they're another, what do they call those? Enclave. They're another enclave. But at the same time, we also just found these people. The Ukadevos People Republic. They are here. They don't like us very
Anomaly
much.
found.
It says -140 because of the slavery policy, authoritarian tyrants, and is an autocracy. You'd think they'd like us. Not that much different. So, and then we have a primitive species encounter. And unfortunately, these exterminators and these guys over here don't have direct access to each other. So we're mushed in the middle. It would be really nice if they had direct access because the odds of them going to war with each other would be increased. Alright, the colonizers on Powder 1 regularly explore the planet in the hopes of finding more resources to help with day-to-day life. A recent expedition to the North Pole has now unveiled a large object on the bottom of the ocean, an alien battlecruiser. So we're going to issue a special
Situation
project
log
for the alien
updated.
battlecruiser. So we're hemorrhaging a little bit of money. So we're going to take this and increase it. Our automatic trade at the end of the month. Try to take care of some of our money problems. Alright, and the crew is reporting they found something spectacular and criminal. On the surface lies traces of an explorative expedition of another civilization. Left behind are some well-preserved documents and artifacts. The proposed action by the chief science officer is to send the text findings to our homeworld for translation. Yes, so translating the explorer's text. So now we have a very
updated.
full situation log. A bunch of things going on. And some of these research things take a long time, and we're spending our research right now. Our engineering research is suspended in favor of converting our robots over.
System
We need to
survey
track
complete.
this one on the map. This is the submerged cruiser. It's up there. It requires a construction ship. And this one, track on the map, requires a science
System
ship.
survey complete.
So what I'm going to do is create a second constructor ship because we can. Still hemorrhaging a little bit of money, so we're going to go up here and do this.
Construction complete.
Alright. Construction. And we have these guys here. So now, strange resource discovered. Rare crystals. We're going to need those. We have no defense platforms built, and we have the ability to build 6 of them. This can get, as this starbase gets upgraded to a starhold, and then the next higher one, and the next
Construction
higher one,
complete.
you get more of these slots. We're going to
Construction
want
complete.
to create some defense platforms here very soon. And they have declared us a rival, which means they're going to earn, and so that gives them -100. An additional -100 that allows them to earn influence at a faster rate each turn.
System
So
survey
everybody
complete.
we've met so far hates us. And that is a little bit of a problem. So we're going to have to be ready to go to war. These guys are parked here at the Kepler space station, so you can make that home station. Light show. Science officer reports that luminous waves coursing through the ice that blankets this planet of alien origin and gains 100 experience. So these guys are fleet power is superior.
Research complete.
Finish some research. The blockers are done. We have more blockers we can get rid of. Naval capacity from soldier jobs. Habitability. This reduces penalties on planets that, you know, when you're at 80%, you're still taking some penalties. This is a nice thing to keep building up. And it's cheap. I'm going to do this for the bonuses. They're small, but I feel like they're going to add up over time.
System survey complete.
Our one star base is over here that has modules on. That has the one shipyard on. And we would like to make ships and keep adding them to this fleet. So one way to do that is with the fleet manager. We can go in here and we can see the fleets that we already have. And we can say, well, right now it says you have 12 of a maximum of 30. So I can go in here and I can say, well, give me some more destroyers. See the number in the parentheses. Because destroyers are worth 2 logistic spots and corvettes are worth 1. We can have a maximum naval capacity of 28 right now. So I'm just going to add these and get us to 22. And then you can say reinforced fleet for 658. It'll build as many ships as it can with the alloys that you have. And it'll automatically send them. So it's going to build 4 ships. And it's automatically going to send them to that fleet. And now
construction
we have
complete.
So we could choose pop growth speed, starbase influence cost, and then I need to start adopting supremacy. Ship build cost reduced, and ship build speed, ship upkeep reduced, and naval capacity increased. I really need this stuff. Because of where things are going, but that or second. This only has 1. I'm going to adopt this. If I was closer to finishing this so that I could get an ascension perk, I'd just keep doing expansion, but we're going to need some of these bonuses. This planet colony has 2 people. This one has 3. This one has 4. Doing this. We kind of get us out of the hole there. Alright, and I have my construction ship. So what I want to do with him is get a suitable choke point up here. Actually, he needs to go there. So what is this? Fleet order canceled. It's unable to build a starbase in Haldus. Resources have been refunded. Haldus. It's Haldus. It's unable to build. Okay, if you hit the F key, it'll bring up a search. Haldus. Where's Haldus? What am I not seeing? Oh, it's up there. Oh, right there. We couldn't build one there? Why not? Unable to build a starbase in Haldus. Resources have been refunded. I didn't realize I was trying to build a starbase there. I can't build one there. Why not? Curious about that. And I have a science ship that's idle.
System survey complete.
He has...
System survey complete.
Actually, I'm not as concerned about getting that. This looks like a dead end up here. So I kind of want to go see what these are, because these could have planets that we could actually colonize. We're going to have to put a choke point right there. And possibly, you know, because It's probably not a good idea to try to grab these, because he's already going to have a second backdoor into those. We probably need a choke point right there, or there, probably right there. And then we need to grab these systems. But the question is, what's the constructor complaining about over there? Alright, so we have this constructor. He needed to do what? Hold on. Build research stations. Build a starbase right there. Oh, is it up here that he's got to do? Oh yeah, he's got to research that project in the system. That's a long way off. Maybe build one more construction ship? Not sure what I'm thinking. This has got to be another choke point here.
Construction complete.
Right there. Because then that keeps him out of all of this. So I don't know what you're doing. Get over here. Survey that system. This guy's going to get this. And then we're going to have this group. All we'll have to do is defend that spot. Get these guys out of here. Provided they don't have some backdoor over in this direction. There we go.
Construction complete. Construction
so you were able
complete.
to build that there. Okay. Go here and build that one. So that's our choke point for there. Boy, this is going to be difficult. Especially because early on we're just not building alloys as fast as I would like. One thing I'm tempted to do here is take this research lab and turn it over into an alloy factory. Not because research isn't important, it very much is, and we need this research, but one of these other planets is going to be turned into just a research world. Probably this one, outer, or this one could turn, whichever one has the most amount of total districts. This has 11, this has 10, and this has 14. We can get a couple more because of blockers on this planet. So, like this, these are going to cost 500 apiece. Expensive. So our fleet is a little stronger. Okay, so they're equivalent, and we're equivalent with them, and these guys are still superior. So that's what I like to do is, sometimes it says things like overwhelming. And you're thinking, oh man, we're doomed. But then you do some of the math and you realize it's not actually that overwhelming. You build 4 ships and all of a sudden you're equivalent. So that's, that's early game stuff. Merging. It'll tell you down here what this is doing. It said it was merging. I'll show you how to do some manual merging later when that part of the game becomes necessary. This planet down here is an Arctic world. I don't really want to give them this space in here, but they grabbed this node, and that would have been the only way to keep them out of here. Well, and they have this node over here. So this restraining ourselves to this spot here and choosing it as a choke spot is probably the smartest play that we can make. I'm waiting for this guy to get done surveying so he can build there. And I am going to build one more construction ship. And the reason I'm going to build a construction ship is we have to have a construction ship for this research project up here, not a science ship. It requires a construction ship, and you can see it. It says,
System survey complete.
Which one is it? Repair. Has one construction ship in orbit is what you need. I don't know why it says has one. It should say requires one, but not everybody is a English major. So this guy's going to survey this just to see what it looks like. He's going to build that starbase, and we're going to choke that point off. This guy's
System survey complete.
Research that project. Will give us something nice, and then he can backtrack all the way to here and start collecting all this stuff and working off in this direction. I'm surprised there isn't a faction here yet that we haven't run into. I'm really surprised because this is all stuff we could grab. And it would be fantastic because this would be the choke point here, and then somewhere up here would be a choke point, and then we would have all of this. Unfortunately, there's only 1, 2 planets and a third one up here, and none of them are super habitable yet. So this planet finally has a slot for you, so the very first thing we're going to build is a robot assembly plant. I'll put those people to work for one thing, but also help build robots. And we'll want to, when that gets done being constructed, we want to go construct the fast robots. We want to make sure we get the fast guy. These 2 planets right here are going to be really nice additions to our empire, but we have to have the terraforming tech first. We don't have it. Terrestrial sculpting to terraform. I'm not into colonizing planets that are not green. Even yellows I don't really colonize because the penalties are just so high. And you can already see, you know, I'm doing everything I can to keep my energy credits even. I'm gonna take this and because I want a positive energy flux.
Construction complete.
Positive energy flow.
Situation log
updated.
updated.
Approaching the recipient. Our ship has entered the Rosalis system, and its crew report that the stellar object, not unlike the shrine to the Untold, is indeed orbiting the star. Well, la-ti-da. So this constructor now will just work.
Construction complete.
This little U symbol in here means a faster light inhibitor is there. Because of we researched the technology, and so by default the starbase gets it. Just by default it gets it.
System survey
I'll
complete.
explain more about that.
Research complete.
Later episode. Starbase capacity +2 would probably be good. We're at 3 is 7. Farmers, certainly. Let's see, I'm pausing this. Prime and amenities. This is the cheapest thing to research. It won't take long to do it. It's got the smallest cost, and it'll give us more food from farmers. So I'm going to choose that. So if nothing else,
Situation log
continue to
updated.
spend money, 1,000 food at a time, to add the planetary modifiers to help growth. Our ship has encountered the Thephoru system, and its crew report that a stellar object, Shrine of the Old Gods. So, and that keeps getting progressed. This is the Shrine of the Old Gods quest. Track all on the map. So if you turn them off, turn them on. So we're gonna pirate treasure. Ooh, we got 500 energy credits. That's nice. So I like to keep tabs on this, but yeah, equivalent firepower. So if we can. There's a superior again, and there's a superior.
System
So
survey
it would
complete.
be interesting to find out how many ships is really superior.
Situation log
The Old
updated.
Gods. Yes, Shrine of the Old Gods. We keep running into that. Okay, so this colony finished. It has this, and I want them to make fast robots. And then we will later on use research, like we're doing right here, to modify the robots. Later on, your research speed, your research up here, this number gets to be so big that modifying your robots is a really fast process.
Construction
It only takes a
complete.
couple minutes. So
System
I'm
survey
thinking that the
complete.
strategy of
Construction
building
complete.
fast robots and then using research to turn them into the other kinds of modified robots that have bonuses and require less upkeep. I think that's a smart play, actually. This guy, you could grab those resources there. That's a choke point for sure. I guess. Let's get it. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, and
Evading
there's these
hostile
guys.
fleet.
Ancient mining drones. So click on those real fast before we lose them and see what they look like. Notice that they have all hull armor, no shields, and these do damage against armor and hull and not as good as shields. So this is when I like to make a note to myself and say that I want to have ships that are stocked with shields and do damage to armor. to take those guys on later. We're not going to find out what's over here because we're not going to get by them. So this dude, he can't go there. So what I'm going to have him do is research that project. I could have him go down here, but I don't think it's worth my time. I think it'd be better if he just researched these projects. I think that would be the smarter play. In this colony, same thing. They now have their first slot open. Robot assembly plant. Wow. This guy got all the way up here. Oh look, these guys are building in the back doorway this way. We're going to need to cut them off somewhere up here. So this constructor, when he gets done researching this thing, or this guy, if he can get up there first. Let's see how many systems there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Construction
6,
complete.
7. 7 to get to here. And he would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get to there. So this guy is going to get the job if he can get there faster. This science
Construction
ship
complete.
is done. You come down here and get this. We can choke them off there. We may be able to get this group in here. This looks like something. This could have some planets in here. I definitely want this spot. It's also because it's got some moats there.
System survey complete.
It's got moats. So that's what that's all about. Natural wormhole. So we found the first one. It's up here.
Construction complete.
You have to unlock a technology to be able to travel through these, but once you can, there will be a matching wormhole somewhere else in the galaxy.
Special project
And so there's our robot miners. So now, we go to our Empire capital. All of our robots should be robot miners. Or there's a fast robot that just got built. Here's a robot miner. And all these robot miners. So these guys produce more minerals, and they're going to produce 15% more. So that's fantastic.
Special project complete.
Alright, we finished that. So come down here. I gotta think about what I'm going to do with you. You come down here and do this. I don't want him building outposts up here, because I want this guy building outposts in this direction. And I don't want them both building outposts because I'm not going to have that kind
Construction
of
complete.
that's going to allow me to do that. I don't have that powerful of an influence. Alright. So the blockers unblocked these slots, which gave us more districts, city districts too. So I'm going to continue to build mines. I have 2 open jobs. One of these is a clerk job. 2 of them are clerk jobs, actually. And 1 unemployed robot, who's a fast robot. We'll keep building robots on this planet, and we'll shuffle them off to other planets. For instance, I can resettle this guy if I wanted to. Let me show you how resettlement works. I could send him to any one of these colonies, since he's not doing anything.
Construction
And the cost
complete.
is 100 credits. So if I send him there, now he's a fast robot on that system. And he'll immediately take a job that was available. This is going to be this planet is going to need more jobs soon. So now we finish this plasma thrower. Colony development speed. We're not going to be making any new colonies for a while until after we get terraforming. So this is not a research that I want to worry about right now. This would be nice, especially because we have energy credit woes right now, but I also really want the plasma thruster. You can see this does 100% to armor damage and 50% to hull damage. This is actually the perfect weapon to go fight the ancient mining drums, but also it's just a very nice weapon against these guys. I'm sure it's going to be useful. He's earning a plus 58% on his research, and this is also particles, which is his expertise, so we're going to have him do that now. This guy got
Construction complete.
this system, which is great, and now I'm going to have him rush
System survey
up
complete.
in this direction to get up here to try to choke things off there. So he's going to go in that way and use all the influence to make outposts, and this dude's going to work his way back and build the mining stations on the things that he's leaving behind. And same thing with this guy here. He's going to go do this. I'm not concerned about this.
Special
Okay,
project complete.
old god, shrine to the precipient. So you can take a lot of time and read this if you want to, but it finishes that chain. So this is the thing.
System
You can see
survey
on this planet,
complete.
it's yellow for habitability. It's a 65% habitable planet for us. Our amenities usage goes up 35% on it, and our pop upkeep goes up 35%. So that means more food, more energy, more of these consumer goods. And the resources gained from the jobs take a 17.5% tank. So that's why I'm not going to worry about that planet until, or this one either. Either of these yellow ones. I'm not going to worry about them until I can terraform and my habitability goes up. This guy just seemed to skip right over this one. So survey that, and then go survey that, and work your way around the horn here. Okay, do that. So he's going to do that. And then, so what happened was, up here, when we repaired that fleet, we get these 3 ships. And they can come down here and be part of our fleet. We're going to merge them with this fleet when they move down here. So we got 3 free ships, basically. And we have more research. Now, again, tile blockers. Good to get out of the way, but they cost money to do. And we're actually, there's some we're not doing right now. This is more important to me right now, Naval Logistics Office and the Fleet Academy. These things are going to be really important coming up. I would actually like to have the pop growth speed though first. The reason being that I don't have the technology to upgrade my star bases to Starhold yet, where I can add this. Because right now my star base is down here. You can see they're using their buildings for crew quarters. And so this, the Naval Logistics Office, goes in a building slot. So you have to upgrade this to a Starhold to get the second building slot and 2 more module slots. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to unlock this before we get a Starhold. So I'm going to grab pop growth speed. And then I'm going to think about another star base. And we keep, anytime we start to get over 80 mineral credits, over 80 minerals per month surplus, we start to take a little bit of a take there in the energy credit part. Let's do this. Bump that up so we can get some more positive energy credits. They're making robots, they're making robots. Make sure we're all building.
Construction complete.
Let's see, what does he build? Fast robot, good. Okay, so our scientist here died.
Special project complete.
Shrine to the Untitled. After days of activities that can best be termed fiddling, science officer so-and-so has retrieved the Doctrine of the Undaunted, a textile scroll coated with a sturdy plastic polymer. We need another person on a science ship. This gentleman has a research speed of 10. He's busy commanding, and then these guys, 3 guys are leading research. So what I'm going to do is pick somebody here. This is nice. They all have a specialty biology. I want that one. I want him. The reason is so later on I can swap him out when I need it. Survey that system. And then survey that system. Probably going to get kicked out of surveying that system. and this constructor. Just keep working your way up, buddy. You can always backtrack and grab these things. That's part of the reason we're taking a little hit here, is because we're not grabbing the energy credits along the way, but we're going to be soon. This constructor, for instance, he's coming down here to take this. I'm going to do this. You move over here. Build those mining stations. You move over here and build those mining stations.
System
as you're
survey
creating
complete.
outposts, if you're not also mining the system at the same time and grabbing these energy credits as you go, since I'm just buzzing my way up here, that's part of how you start to get into this little bit of a hole that we've experienced. Alright, the third of our colony planets is now ready for a robot assembly, which is fantastic. Keep an eye on my colonies here.
Special project complete.
Shrine to the old gods. Deciphering the pictograms in the benefactress's shrine was a much smoother process than anticipated. Okay, so now, we have an encounter. We've encountered some form of aliens called Kappa aliens. That issues a special project to research them. But the Shrine of the Gods revelation, the complete doctrine of the gods, for that is what the recovered texts have to be regarded as, dwarfing the fairy tale scraps upon which the old Bioforge supremacy religions were founded, is as shockingly revelatory as it is revolutionary. With only a little bit of creative interpretation, it is clear that the people of Bioforge Prime were meant for great things, guided by the strong hand of a religious leader. Our path is one to godhood, but our past is littered with prophecies unfulfilled and sin born of ignorance. Redemption is ephemeral. So we can suppress the findings for a gain of influence. We can monetize the findings for money. But what can we learn from this? Regardless of the veracity or validity of the sacred test, the fact remains that we share religious concepts with some older, unknown spacefaring race. We gain a bunch of society research, and it ends the Shrine of the Shrine of the Old Gods event. Or start a religious renaissance, shifting the empire ethics towards spiritualist. Spiritualist. Unity gain 531. Shifts its ethics towards spiritualist. That's interesting. Sure, I've never done that before. I actually kind of want to do it. Just to see how it changes the game. So that gave us enough to get another tradition. And I want to choose the one that's going to do naval capacity increased, ship upkeep reduced by 10. I definitely want that one. And then what is this? This says inactive civics. So we have to go to reform government. And now it says technocracy. You can't do a technocracy anymore. What is this? Can we? Can we keep these? I've never done this before. This is technocracy, civics, authority, imperial. Reform your government by changing its ethos. Apparently I can't do this. So there's that. So I can't be a technocracy anymore. That's interesting. And I already have the robots, so. Slaver guilds. Shadow council. Okay. Police state. I'm not really. Philosopher king. Ruler level cap +2. Mining guilds. That's always nice. Miners produce +1. Capital building. If we're a merchant guilds, capital buildings provide merchant jobs, and merchants also produce 2 unity. Functional architecture. Building upkeep is reduced. Exalted priesthood. One must be true. Has the oligarchic authority or has dictatorial authority. Capital buildings replace some administrative jobs with high priests, and priests add an additional unity. Okay. Pop consumer goods, upkeep, bureaucracy, administrative capacity, cutthroat politics, reduce edicts costs. I don't care about that. And Byzantine bureaucracy can construct bureaucratic complex buildings that add additional administrator jobs. Okay. A corvée, how do you pronounce that? Corvée? Pop growth from immigration. Resettlement cost is -25. Okay. This is really interesting. I'm either going to choose Exalted Priesthood because I like the idea of high priests providing additional unity, merchant guilds, because they also produce unity, or mining guilds, because minerals are king. Functional architecture, I'm going to choose that. I can't reform it, it says, because... What's this? Some degree of materialist. Oh, but we're spiritualists now. So... What's that mean? How come I can't do that? Mechanist. What is this? Imperial? Oh, we don't have enough influence cost. That's why. Look at the bottom. It says 250. So we went through all of that. We can't reform our government until we have influence. So we've switched from materialist and those bonuses, those gave us to spiritual. So that's really interesting. I've never seen that. Well, now you get to see that. That's fun. Is this a... It's not a research project and system thing, is it? Okay, in that case,
construction
I want to go all the way out
complete.
here. We will reform when we have... Maybe when we have the 250. I might wait a little while. Keep going. I've never done that result because I'm always afraid to change my ethics, clearly. So that's really interesting. And this certainly affects some of this. The extra national authority. Extending our influence to dominate subject nations, yeah. And then science without borders. Signing research treaties. Federated indirect xenology. Legislating passive study stance on native interference. Oh, well, we're going to change that. So... on native interference is currently unrestricted. This is primitive life forms, but we don't have any primitive life forms within our borders to study, so I'm going to change this to passive study because it doesn't really affect anything for us, and that makes these guys a little happier. Their approval is a little higher, so we'll earn more. We'll earn more influence from them, and they want to be federated new contact. Alright, we're going to keep rolling. That was a lot to do with shifting of our ethics here.
Construction complete.
250 influence to reform our government. This icon will stay up here until we switch our civics. That'll be interesting to do. So we won't be able to be a technocracy or a mechanist, so we're going to lose... but this is okay because we already got the benefits of it. We started the game with 8 pops, and we started with the infrastructure to build more. Now we're going to lose the -5% to robot
System
upkeep,
survey
but,
complete.
That's going to happen. The technocracy, it bums me out about a little bit because of science
Complete.
directors. We're going to lose the ability to have those guys, but I'm okay with this. We're going to earn unity instead, and it's going to get us more traditions faster. So I think it's all going to work out pretty well. Oh, look at this. There's 14 minerals over there. You're going to go grab this stuff, dude. And that's okay because we're getting to the end of this episode anyway. So, yeah, if you don't want to change your civics, if you don't want to change your ethics, then obviously you wouldn't choose that choice
complete.
and you wouldn't switch to spiritualists. I can build temple buildings now. Cannot use full AI rights policy. Our monthly unity goes up by 10%. Our unit cost drops a little bit. So... And we switched to fanatic authoritarian. So our monthly influence goes from 0.5 to 0.1. And our worker basic resource output goes up to plus 10%. So we switched. I've never played a game where I've switched my governing ethics before like that. And that is kind of radical. Communications established. We found the United Vool autocracy. They are fanatic materialist. And they are material. How are they fanatic materialist and materialist? Oh, I guess you can choose both of those, can't you? Yeah. So, right. So where are they from? Right? Skinner. Okay, we're going to check the opinion mode. These two people are not great, and these guys hate us. So, that's it. And they've closed their borders, the new guys. Alright, well. I'm going to stop the episode here, folks. As always, I hope you're getting a lot of that out of this. I hope you like it. If you have a question or comment, drop it down below. If you like the video series, hit the like button, and if you like what's on my channel, hit the subscribe button. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.